Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about folk integrated curriculum. This is an extract from my interview where I will be jotting down the interview questions as well and the replies to those questions. So the first question was that the current era is dominated by AI, STEM education and global competition. Then what is the reason behind introducing folk integrated curriculum? Isn't it consideration that it's a step back when everything is moving ahead? And what I consider that while researching and while working on the curriculum, I consider that yes, we are developing, education policy is getting revised. There are several things that are happening in the world of schooling and the curriculum, but I consider that it's a missing piece in the modern education. Today, schooling system, what I consider is that they are producing the high achievers, but not the emotionally resilient individuals. We have students, those who are acing up in mathematics, but at the same time, they're struggling with their own identity. They're excelling in science, they are well at practicals, but at the same time, battling with their own anxiety. And folk integrated curriculum is a misnomer that it's about culture only. No, it's about cognitive, emotional, and social reset that modern students desperately need. And I consider that folk integrated curriculum is a need. And one thing I would like to add is that it is not like that introducing the folk songs, folk stories, or folk dances. Um, it is not about that. It is what the culture of that particular school is and what kind of parameters of folk are required to be introduced. So it is again a data analysis that will be resulting into the customization of curriculum. It is not that the copy pasting from one school to the another school. It is each and every school has got its own vibe and it has to be customized accordingly. It needs more principals to be trained on it. It needs more school teachers to be trained on it, and of course parents to be made aware about it. And so it is a multidimensional process. It is not that very easy, that integration of folk. It needs a really thoughtful integration. Another question that was there in the interview was that many schools have the folk performances during their annual days and whatsoever the functions they are there. They're celebrating the religious festivals or the other festivals, and they are introducing the folk dances over there. So how is this curriculum different? So what I consider that a motive of the annual function is the showcase. So they are showcasing the folk tradition, and our curriculum focuses on the living folk, and that's a big difference. Schools often teach history through books, dates, names, and wars. But what if I tell you that every folk tale carries a physiological blueprint for resilience? That folk dances are coded neuro movements unlocking the confidence, rhythm, and coordination. Folk songs are not just the melodies, but the emotional intelligence training. This is immersive learning, not just a performance. So that's a big difference when it's cultural program and a folk integrated curriculum. That makes a big difference. And yes, it is coded neuro movement, and even the interviewer picked up these three words, coded neuro movements. And I consider, yes, absolutely, when children engaged in full body folk dances, they activate cross lateral movement, engaging both the hemispheres of the brain. This isn't just a dance, it's cognitive development, motor skills, and emotional expression in one go. Neuroscience shows that rhythmic movement enhances memory, learning capacity, and even emotional regulation. And this is what the schools are at the moment struggling with. And what about the folk songs? What makes them more than just traditional music? Interviewer next curious question was, and I said, each and every folk song is a time capsule of lived experience. We hold oral wisdom that is no written text that can replace. Imagine a child singing a harvest song. Not only that are they learning music, but also agriculture, seasons, gratitude, community resilience in one breath. Folk songs are also a form of social bonding, creating a shared emotional connection that today digital world lacks. So I consider that folk integrated curriculum is really required because the individuals are getting enclosed in the compartments because of the type of culture we are moving in. And folk learning is not just about nostalgia, it's about your mental health also. And each and every school, they are conducting workshops for mental health and everything. And these workshops, sorry, I'm saying that, these workshops, as soon as the workshop is over, impact remains for 1 day or 2 days. And afterwards, what? It's again the back to the same routine. So yes, schools are witnessing rising cases of anxiety, depression, and burnt out. And children are overstimulated digitally and understimulated emotionally. And I repeat my sentence once again. Children are overstimulated digitally, but understimulated emotionally. It's a gap. Folk learning is a powerful intervention. When a child stomp their feet in rhythm, the rhythm they are born with, they ground themselves. When they sing in unison, they heal together. When they enact a folk tale, they find a solution to their own dilemmas. Folk learning is a therapy in motion. And while we work with schools, purposely we introduce, after understanding the culture of the organization, we introduce the different levels of the folk integrated curriculum. And we have seen much more improved student engagement. Less pressure is visible among the teachers and the students, and the lessons are well integrated with folk curriculum, and it really makes a very happy combination. So the interviewer was even shocked. He said, for me, that folk tales are the bedtime stories that the grandmothers they used to tell, or the grandparents they used to tell. And but I added, that's like saying a compass is a metal needle. Is it right if I say that the magnetic compass is just a metal needle? No, it's capable of letting us know the direction as well. Folk tales are psychological road maps. They teach morality without moral policing. Mind absorbs lessons through metaphor. So values like courage, justice, perseverance become second nature rather than imposed rules. We are imposing rules in the name of curriculum. And this is where we are going wrong. Research even shows that storytelling impacts brain chemistry, boosting empathy, critical thinking, and ethical decision making. It's a subconscious way to teach life skills. And each and every region is full of their folk tales, folk music, folk dances. And the things where in what child is born with, we eliminate the day they enter the school. And we use these folk songs or themes for showcase, not as the way of life. This is where the gap is. And this gap is visible among children, among the teachers, among the principals. And yes, we are denying it yet. We are not accepting it that, yes, this is the place where, this is the point where we went wrong. The interviewer question was that it's in the today's world where education is focused on technology, innovation, and progress. Doesn't this take time away for more practical subjects? And where I'm very clear as a curriculum expert that what's the true progress? Are we producing machines or humans who can work 18 hours a day, lacking empathy, creativity, or balance? Or we are nurturing holistic thinkers who can innovate while staying rooted in values? Folk integrated curriculum doesn't compete with progress, but it enhances it. A child who learns folk rhythms develop better pattern of recognition, a skill essential in maths and coding. A child who internalizes folk narrative thinks critically and makes ethical decisions. Progress isn't just about speed, it's about depth, balance, and sustainability. We have already integrated curriculum among the students, and we have observed big difference among the students, those who are learning folk integrated curriculum and those who are just doing the curriculum. It's a big difference. And the next question that was that how folk learning is the future proofing student. And I consider that it is already in. Schools are struggling with the life skills. They are talking about 21st century skills, but all these are add-on, but just as an add-on. So folk learning, folk integrated curriculum is a natural learning that builds skills like collaboration, resilience, adaptability without needing a separate lesson for them. It's more organic, time-tested education system, fine-tuned over centuries. In a world overwhelmed by artificial intelligence, we must ensure our children still master the powerful intelligence that's the human intelligence. And this human intelligence, somewhere I'm sad that it has been overruled over with the concept that when this earth needs more of humans, we are in the race to create robots. What long-term impact is seen among the students if they are studying under the folk integrated curriculum? First of all, folk is in their blood, in their soil. So I consider that they carry this confidence forward. This experience makes them culturally grounded yet globally aware. A student who embodies folk learning walks with a rhythm, speaks with a purpose, and thinks with a depth that no textbook alone can provide. If they grow up disconnected from their roots, they grow up without a compass. But if they carry these movements, these rhythms, these stories, they carry their identity, their strength, their heritage wherever they go. If there is one message, what educators to take from this, what it would be. My message for all the principals, all the parents, all the teachers, that don't teach students to succeed in exams. They will they'll succeed in exams. Lots and lots of study material is there where the teachers are facilitating them, schools are facilitating them. We have to teach them how to get successful in their life. Folk integrated curriculum is not an extra, but it is essential. It's a need of today. It builds minds that think, hearts that feel, the spirits that withstand with the storm. In the era of rapid change, those who know where they come from will always know where they are going. And it's a simple sentence, but it has lots and lots of weight in its depth. And 21st century skills, what they're focusing, they become more employable. And if I consider that, what about the professions that are related to this folk integrated curriculum? There are several professions that are related. There are n number of professions that are related to the folk integrated curriculum. For educators, it is cultural curriculum specialist, it is ethnomusicologist and folklore professor or researcher, linguistic experts, and for art and performance storytellers, they play a great role, right? Choreographer, then we have craft and handicraft instructors, and really these professions are of equal importance. If you see the market value, they are earning good bucks as compared to a child who is doing masters and landing up a job of a clerk or an executive where there is no life in his own life. And for community and cultural preservation area, we can say that heritage conservatist, then cultural anthropologist, traditional healers, herbalist educator, and in the field of media and digital content, it is the documentary filmmakers, folk journalists, folk inspired fashion designers, then VR, AR, folk story developer. It's n number of professions that are related to it. And we are really underestimating all these in the name of speed-paced curriculum that is with no folk integrated curriculum anywhere. I sad to see that we have to struggle a lot, that when we have to introduce folk integrated curriculum, it takes loads and loads of awareness, but the results are really very awesome. And we have witnessed good results with the students, those who are fighting with their own anxiety and so many things, and that have resulted into excellent grown-up kids, those who are showcasing their best version, and they're more creative and they are more good, much more good creators of happiness for themselves and surroundings. Thank you.